Hey guys, how are your affirmations going? Are you remembering to say them 5 to 6 times a day out loud? I hope so, because just writing them once and reading them once probably won't do much good. So stay with it. And how about that lead list? How's that coming along? I hope it's coming out well. Now, if you are struggling on it, it's probably because you're overthinking it and you're probably prejudging. So remember, this is just a list of names on paper. Okay, that's all the goal is right now, getting the names on the paper. So let that list evolve. Even if you've hit 100 names, keep at it. Let the list evolve. I suggest spending 5 to 10 minutes a day adding to that list. I also suggest taking the list with you wherever you go. That way, if you bump into someone that you forgot to put on your list, you can add them to it. Or if all of a sudden a few people come to mind, you can pull out that list and add them to it. Okay, so today your task is to set your calendar. The first thing you're going to do is look at next week. That's our official book-a-thon. How much time do you want to dedicate to filling your calendar? Find those pockets of time within your week. And this is pockets of time. You don't have to set aside an hour or an hour and a half. If you can, great. If you can't, 10 to 15-minute blocks of time is really good. Now, this is supposed to be a transformative week, right? You want to really get the momentum going. So you want to carve out as much time for Pampered Chef as you can for that 1 week. If you have kids by your side all day long, could you get up earlier for this week or stay up a little later a couple of days this week? Could you hire a mother's helper for a few hours to come over one day? How about plan some daddy time with the kids so that you can work your business? Whatever you need to do, figure that out now so you've got a game plan in place and can hit the ground running. If you work full-time, could you get up a few minutes earlier? Could you stay up a little bit later? How about using some of your coffee or lunch break? What about taking time after you get out of work, but before you drive home, to take 10 to 15 minutes? Not while you're driving, though. Give this careful thought and carve out dedicated time. And if it's necessary, make sure your family members are aware. Okay, if your kids are young, probably doesn't do much good to tell them. But if you've got a spouse, a significant other, definitely getting them on board. It's a really good and important thing. Next, you're going to set your show schedule through the end of the year and actually into early January. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, first, you need to determine how many parties you need to do to hit your income goal. Most of you said you wanted to earn $1,000. Okay, how much do you have to sell to earn $1,000? You need $4,000 in sales in 1 month. Okay, if you have a $500 show average, that's 8 shows, right? If you have a $700 show average, it's about 6 shows. You can look up online on Consultant's Corner to find out what your show average is if you're not sure of what it is. So some of you said you wanted to make $2,000. That's $8,000 in sales with a $500 show average. Is that about 16 shows? The $700 show average, it's only about 12 parties. Next, you want to determine what kind of shows you want to do. Are they going to be live shows? Are they going to be virtual parties? Is there a gap then? You don't have enough hours in your day? Well, fill in the gap with catalog parties or maybe sales from your Facebook group. Determine how you're going to hit that number, okay? And if you need help with this, this is the time to call your director because this is really important. You want to set the goal and then you want to figure out how is it going to work in your life at your pace, okay? All right, so when you're looking at your calendar, figure out where you're going to put these parties. Are you going to do something on Black Friday? You know, mark off the unchangeable commitments that you have and then see what's available, see what's left. Also look at December and early January. Not everyone you connect with next week who wants to have a party will be able to do it in the month of November. And if you know what your availability is for December and January, you can get those people to book right then and there on the spot instead of, oh, I'll call you back next month. Okay? All right. So in order to get your point, or your ticket, you're going to, number one, schedule your dedicated Pampered Chef office hours for the Bookathon week. And like I said, if you really want momentum, schedule as much as you can for this one transformative week. Pockets of time, as many as you can. Number two, determine how many shows you need to do to hit your goal and where exactly you're going to put them. And determine your availability through early January. You're going to type up your office hours, all your pockets of time. You're going to type that up, take a picture and post it here. You're also going to print out a blank November calendar. I've given you a link if you need it, or if you've got something different, you can use that. But print out that November calendar and write in where you're going to do your parties and indicate what kind of parties they will be. Please use an S to indicate live cooking shows. Please use a V to indicate virtual parties. And please use a C to write in catalog parties. Now the catalog parties, they don't need a date because you're just going to give people catalog packets and let them have at it. But somewhere on that calendar, write in how many catalog parties you plan on booking in order to reach your goal. And again, if you need help crunching the numbers, call your director. Okay? Now, this might take you a day or two to do it all if you have to talk to a spouse or other family members. It's okay. You can still get the ticket even if it takes you a day or two. And I'd rather you take the time needed to really give this a lot of thought, especially for your office hours next week. Because it's going to determine to a great degree how much success you have during that week. Okay? All right. Good luck.